Now we're recording, and it seems to be registering. Perfect. Good evening, everybody. Wait, hold on. No, I need to close this. Is that recording? Yes, recording? Recording? Yes, you're recording? Hello, recording? Recording? Good, there we are. Hey, hi, everybody. Welcome to Actually Comics. My name is Tristan, and I am joined today by Bob.
Hello.
At his sexy three-quarters angle that really shows off both his sexitude and all of the really cool stuff in the store. Well, not all of it, like a tiny
There's many cool things behind me.
Portion of it. Anyway, yeah, it is. I don't have my watch on, so I don't know what day it is. It's for February 7th is what it's going to be for.
Always ask me. I always know.
Why do you always know the date?
Because I'm a administrative assistant, and I work on Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, or whatever.
Whatever day
it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
I'm working, so I know what day it is.
Kayfabe day we're pretending this is.
Hey, now. I mean, we don't really have to pretend it's not Tuesday, because we're not selling comics to anyone.
No. We're
just talking about comics that are on sale.
They are
February
still in
7th,
the store.
2024.
So correct.
Year of our Lord.
Yes. I mean, sure. I'll take credit for him too. He can be my lord as well. He really not necessarily. But
I don't want credit for him. You can take it.
I don't know. He seemed like a nice guy.
And I promise to try not to yawn as much this week.
Fucking good.
I did not watch the video, but I know I yawned a lot last week.
I was.
I actually slept through the night last night.
So did I. Weird.
Wow. My cat, for some reason, decided not to wake us up screaming at 2:00 in the morning last night, and it was amazing. It was really hard to wake up, though.
Yeah, man. I haven't had a good night's sleep in like 3 weeks, so I can totally relate. But you know what?
Planetary shit.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's because
Virgo's moon is in Sagittarius.
You might be telling the truth.
I might be. I wouldn't know.
You might have gotten
those
it
are
by
just
accident.
literally
random words,
astronomical words, which tells you exactly how much I know about what I'm talking about.
More than anyone.
There were a lot of comics this week.
There are. We'll go through them. We'll talk about them. That'll be a thing that we do.
No.
Yes. Let's talk about the Addams Family.
It's good.
It is really good.
I like
it's
it.
Surprisingly
this comic
good.
book
I would say
is good.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Also surprisingly good. I really love Alien. This particular 4-issue arc was really good. This wraps up really nicely, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Declan Shelvey's writing, but this was a really fun story.
And Minky's got a good wrap his head around the concept of Alien.
I agree with that. I think that is true.
And also, he's a very nice person.
He is also very nice. Yes, he has been
and a good artist.
He has come to the store. Occasionally, I believe.
Yes.
What about Avengers?
I thought the art was a step up from what I've been seeing in Avengers. And other than that, as a comic I'm not following, I'm sure it's fine.
It's sure fine.
But I didn't really get it because I'm not following it.
Fair.
There's some people, they do some stuff. The Scarlet Witch is kind of badass. These are things I can tell you about Avengers.
Fair enough. What can you tell me about Batman, the Joker?
I can tell
Origin
you
of Joker joking.
I actually I was telling David this in the store. I read a review of this issue, and the review basically was like, this issue is confusing. The art is kind of all over the place, but I know it's good because Chip Zdarsky made it. And that was the review, and they gave it 8 out of 10. Now,
yikes!
I'm prepared to give it decent marks because I'm interested in the storyline. But I also the artist.
I believe that's called resting on one's laurels.
Yeah, I got to read the whole thing, and it's 3 issues, so it's all over the place, and it's really hard to tell. It's one of those things where periodical single issue floppy kind of thing, like telling a story that's kind of chopped up that way, is like it can be difficult. Where it's like I think you need like. Normally I would say wait for the trade or whatever, but like I would wait until you have a couple issues of it to really see, because the way the story is told, it's done in this like now it's the present, now it's the past, now it's like page to page to page, it shifts.
Sure.
And then also one of the big reveals at the end is entirely dependent on you having read the Chip Zdarsky written Batman the Knight series.
Oh boy.
So if you aren't familiar, I mean, there's enough information in there where you can kind of figure it out. But like, if this was your first Batman comic, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's fine. I also, the artist Sorrentino that is half of this is a popular artist, and a lot of people like that artist. I personally do not really like that artist, but that said, I think this is high quality for what I've seen from them.
Fair
and
enough.
then the Giuseppe Camuncoli art, I actually really like quite a bit.
And if you are a big fan of Scooby-Doo, which I am, you're going to probably like this Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries with Solomon Grundy, which is pretty great.
He was just born yesterday.
Oh, hey, it's true. He was. And he was, I don't remember when he was baptized, but it was fairly recently.
Baptized on September 22nd.
Oh.
I don't know.
It doesn't really work with the rhyme, but it's interesting.
Yeah. That's the original first draft.
That's fair. You got to kill your babies. Anyway, okay, so we got Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Oh man, Marshall blew my mind with his theory this week, and I can't even can we share the theory?
Yeah, sure. Share that theory. I think that's fair.
Coast City Comics employee extraordinaire Marshall, on his way out of the comic store, just passing him on the street, he was telling me about like how there was a lot of comics this week, and there was some good ones, and this is a favorite of his. Recommended to him personally by Kyle Starks, which I thought was very interesting.
It is really funny,
yeah. So his theory is that this comic is actually it's people, and that the person that's doing like the killing or one of the main characters is seeing everyone as an animal.
Yes.
And that blew my mind. I think it's a great
theory. It's one of those things where like that sounds like one of those extra textual kind of internet theories that are so popular these days, but it's not, because if you look at it, there are some hints to that to make that theory. There are definitely things in the art that you would look at and go, "Oh shit, why is this?"
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
It's actually very perceptive.
It's very, and the coolest thing about it for me is that I didn't read about it on like Bleeding Cool or something where it's someone told them the secret, and then they're like, "Hey, what if this was the case?" And it's like, "Oh, gee, that's really 100% accurate." I wonder if someone that you know who tells you about comic books told you this fucking secret. It was like actually just like Marshall, who enjoys the comic, being like, "Yeah, I think this is the deal." And I was like, pow. So it's good.
Yippers. I just noticed that I have our comics in sepia tone this time too.
Oh
no. Whatever.
It's actually our comics came to us via the Old West.
Yes, this is Pony Express stuff. Birds of Prey.
I like it. I like the twist at the end of the arc, and it's good.
You like it. You love it.
I want some more of it. That's correct. Also, do you remember if you remember back 6 months ago when this comic first came out, I was saying the team is cool and I'm into it, but I wish Vixen was on the team. And then I saw the solicit and Vixen is joining, and I'm just like, all right, I'm on board. Get rid of the Wildstorm chick and replace her with Vixen.
Oh, yeah, totally.
100%.
Always get rid of somebody from Wildstorm. Blanche Goes to San Francisco, the reprint.
I bought this.
I mean, it's amazing. This is a great,
I have not read it.
Classic, wonderful
I love
story
Rick Geary.
from Rick Geary.
I love Rick Geary, and I love that it's set in the Flapper era, and I love a cloche hat.
And he's doing his best Rare Bit Fiend artwork, basically.
That's Rick Veitch.
Well, yes, but I mean it. Sorry, I didn't even mean that.
Oh,
I didn't even mean that series. I
was Rick, and I thought he was like a.
No, that wasn't even my. I was actually mistaking it for.
I don't know how to pronounce it. John will be
Rick.
Listening and be like, "It's fucking Veitch."
Dude, I don't know. If Jonathan Merrifield listens to it, he can tell us. But it is. I was thinking of Little Nemo in Slumberland. That's what I was trying to think of. That's the style that I was thinking of.
Interesting.
Which is a totally different thing.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I thought the Rare Bit Fiends. I thought it was like Rick
makes perfect sense.
Vermontian,
but I would have made that
cartoonist.
mistake. Instead, I made a different mistake.
We all make them.
I make lots of them.
So do I.
Especially because my brain isn't working anymore. What about Bloodnik?
Bloodrick. I did not read this. I didn't care for the first issue
I loved the
very
first
much, but
issue
you liked it a
personally.
lot.
Yeah. I was really into it, and I didn't get to read this one because I came in late today. I was dicking around in the warehouse.
Doing your
Sorry.
stupid comic book thing in the warehouse. Or were you doing a t-shirt thing?
I was not actually doing a t-shirt thing. I was doing the listing things on the internet thing because it's slow as fuck in the winter, and so we need to make up some ground before my credit cards drown me.
Shoot.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Some eBay and some website. I'm trying to not give away all of our cool stuff to eBay. I'm trying to make sure that I divide it between the website and eBay and other
Nice.
stuff and bringing it in store.
I love that you.
So-
I love how you look out for your
I don't-
your
Well,
patrons. I don't
Sure,
know.
I just don't want the store to look shitty because I need to make up some money. I want to spread it out. So it takes a little extra work, but it's worth it.
Nice.
Borealis. The story of that guy from Bones.
Oh, I thought it was the story. That's David Boreanaz. I thought it was the story of that bread company from Waldoboro.
Yes, when pigs fly.
Borealis.
I don't know what it is. I can't remember. I think I read
It's
the first
about.
issue.
I know it's about the Borealis in some respect. I do remember reading it and being like, "Oh, there is actually a
That's
thing
right.
about
I
this
did
stuff."
read this. God damn it. And I don't remember a goddamn thing about it. I didn't read this issue. I read the last issue.
I didn't look at it. Sorry, Borealis.
Sorry, Boreanaz.
Borealis. I wish there was a comic called Borealis. I would
all
buy it
do.
if it didn't have shitty art.
If it wasn't just sexy doodles drawn by David Boreanaz.
Oh man, honestly, I would buy it if it was that.
Yeah. If it
I
was
bought
just-
that fucking Shia LaBeouf comic, which is one of the worst comics I've ever read in my life.
I mean, yes. Sorry, Shia. I know you don't listen to this, but thank you for your donation back in the day.
That was so funny.
It's someday that I don't know what happened.
Did you
with that
sell
whole
it?
thing. No, I still have it.
still have
I
it?
need to put it up on the wall.
For the listeners who don't remember that episode, that was when Shia LaBeouf sold his ID to Tristan.
Well, gave it.
to.
No, it was a gift. It was very strange. We gotta. I mean, I've probably told this story like 15 times.
Not in a long time though.
But
That's good.
essentially, I got an email from someone claiming to be him, and I was like, "Yeah, right, yeah, sure. Send me along some copies of the book or whatever." And then I got a phone call from him asking if I'd gotten the books. And I was like, yeah, "Oh, sorry, yeah. Here, let me open them." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, this total weirdo pretending to be Shia LaBeouf is sending me stuff. This is the most like ungodly, gigantic like prank that some dumb fucking podcast is doing on me. I can't wait to find out what stupid thing it is." And I'm basically being kind of a dick, like I'm not being a total asshole, but I'm obviously not believing that it's him. And he's like, "Okay, that's super cool." And I was like, and I hung up and I looked at the fucking thing, and he had like these cards for him, and it like had his address on them. And I was like, wait, these comics are all about like famous people that he would know. And he printed them off on, wait, he's under house arrest right now. Holy fuck, this was Shia LaBeouf. And then I sent him an email and I was like, "Thanks for the books. Would you want to donate something? We're doing a Kickstarter for our first convention. Would you want to send us something?" And he sent us his license. And he sent us because he was under house arrest because he flipped his fucking Lamborghini or whatever while he was wasted and broke his arm. And he sent us a photo of him holding his license in front of his face. And he's like, "Hey, I'm sending this to you." And he tweeted it out. And that tweet for our Twitter account got like 10,000 retweets. It was so insane how many people that got to, because one of the biggest movie stars in the world was involved in it. and he was a really nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that motorcycle comic was like it was kind of amateurish. I did misrepresent it by saying it was one of the worst comics.
No, it really isn't.
I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called like Cycle Dreams or something like that.
That's the good one, and I don't have that one anymore. I lost.
I definitely
one.
Still have mine.
I have 2 copies of Let's Fucking Party. The other one. That
I never even saw that one. I don't think.
Yeah, so I wish I had a copy of Cycle Dreams still, but I have Let's Fucking Party, which also good.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Anyway, so that's the story.
The story of the license, which
Captain
you still
America.
have. Captain America is a comic book that came out.
And Conan the Barbarian is a comic that came out.
Indeed.
People love this book. This is
Nice.
like the best reception for a Conan book in forever.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
I've heard good things.
I'm so
I
surprised
just
at how well it sells.
This was the series that made me finally realize that I just don't fucking like Conan.
Yeah,
but,
I don't really either.
Because I was like, I like John Buscema.
Yeah.
Or Buscema or however I'll pronounce everybody's name wrong if I can.
Sure, fine.
Give me license to. And this one came out and it's like they're just channeling the original artwork, and it does really, like, they do a great job. And I just was like, I just don't give a shit. Like, he's just a muscle bound clod who fucking constantly just fucks and kills.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's people's thing, and that's cool. I don't want to yuck your yum, but it's not my thing.
It's funny. Yeah, he really is not. It's not my thing, and I tried so hard. Like, I tried to read Conan books back in the day, and I was just like, I just can't make it. I can't, like, it's not happening. I cannot make it through one of these books. They are just not my thing. But you know what is my thing?
Is it Count Crowley?
It's not going to surprise you at all that Count Crowley is my thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
It really is. It's really good. And it's another one of those books that I want to shit on because of the fact that it is just, it's just the polka dot man. It's just a fairly well-known guy, in the Hollywood industry trying to make his book into a movie. But you know what?
Why not?
This almost feels like that's not what it is. If it was,
I think it does.
Exactly.
I agree.
If it was a mini series where he was like, "There it is, it's done. Now I have the setup for the movie," I would feel that way. But you know what?
Is it that it's Das Malchian or whatever that guy?
I wish I could pronounce his name.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
And the thing is, he walks the walk as far as horror fans go.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I mean, he is a huge horror fan, and he really supports the horror community and is like...
Also, the Count Crowley character is cool. Like, there's character development in it, and it's a cool story, and it's cool. Kind of Fright Nighty in a way. Like,
it's very Fright Nighty.
I like it.
It's a play on Fright Night in a way. Yeah. But yeah,
Peter, what's his name?
Peter Vincent.
Peter Vincent. I got the Peter V.
Yes. No, I really like it, and I think he's cool. So I will say that.
Thumbs up. It gets my thumbs approval. Thumbs up.
And if you like your sexy books with extra sexy in them, you're gonna like Crave, the sexiest of the sexy books.
This is the one where they cannibalize and have sexy cannibal stuff.
Probably.
Or sexy food stuff. Isn't it about eating?
I thought that Crave was the one that was about the weird app.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read it.
Not the food app, the type that is on a phone.
DoorDash.
It's about DoorDash. And here is Cull.
Cull. I did not read, but I love this series, and I'm very excited that it feels like it's been a little while since the last issue. Maybe there was like a...
I'm trying to flip through this to find out if I'm remembering correctly. But all it is just sex the whole way through, so I can't figure out what
the Cull series by Kelly Thompson, and I can't remember the artist's name off the top of my head, but it's
Kelly Clarkson
and Kelly Thompson, and it's very good. And David and I were talking about how sometimes like monthly comics should just like not worry so much about being monthly. So if it's possible that there was like a little bit of gap between this one and the last one, like more power, as long as it has the same fucking artist who is awesome and the story is like continuing. Like I would so much rather have that than like a 5-issue arc with one chapter that has different art.
Man. Yeah, I agree.
It's cool. But I think this one might also be a like you're not going to hurt yourself if you wait for the trade. Because it is telling a complete
Yep.
kind of mini story. But yeah, Cull is great.
I feel like that is true for almost everything he does.
Yeah, probably almost every comic in general, you could say it, but in particular this one.
Yes. And here's one. This is one of the best spin-offs of Gang War.
The
by
Daredevil,
far.
I like this one.
I love this Daredevil run. I think it's really fun. I love this artist. I don't know anything else that they've done, but they've got this like weird, like if you took all of the stuff that's annoying about Todd McFarlane's art out of it and just kept the fun stuff, the parts where he draws like the cartoony things that are really wacky and like the big flowy, like all the clothes are just going crazy everywhere, and like
nice.
The kids have really weird cartoon kid faces and everything about it. It's got a lot of that stuff, and I love that. Like, I'm a big fan of Todd McFarlane, to be honest.
I like Todd McFarlane.
There's some things, like as he progressed, he started emphasizing the stuff that I hated about his art, like the dark parts of it, like trying to make it more scary. And I loved his cartooniness. Like that was the part that made him like such a great artist to me. Was like, it was his.
I can't see Todd McFarlane's art and not see cartoony. Like as
right.
a like
yeah,
like
yeah.
he definitely is like there's like a weird animation style component to his artwork that I think is a huge part of his art, and I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like it's almost
think there's
like
a reason why he draws Felix the cat into everything
right,
he draws,
exactly,
or at least
like,
every issue of Spider-Man.
Definitely, there's something like cartoon strip about what he does.
Yeah,
totally. That I very much like, and it is in that book. I definitely see it in that person's art.
Yep.
Dark Souls, some sort of thing. Winter's
sounds
Blood,
depressing.
Winter, I assume is called something like that.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's a video game that is too difficult for me to play.
That's every video game for me.
Dank Dungeon, the dankest of dark dungeons.
Dank, getting dank with the dunge.
And DC's How to Lose a Guy Gardner in a certain amount of days.
I genuinely usually very much am an easy sell on these, but there was nothing in this book that was a bring it home for me.
It's so funny because I looked at this and I said, there's only one way that they would make this, and that's if there was a point to it. Like this, you can't phone this one in because no one's going to buy it. And then I was like, oh wait, I already bought it. It doesn't matter if other people buy it. You have to convince me to buy it. Damn it, I fell for it. Fuck.
There is a kind of
the sucker.
There's a cute Booster Gold comic in it. I just like when it's an anthology, like every story has to be, you know, if you've got 7 or 6 or 7 stories in an anthology, you can't have only one of them be really good. At least half of them have to be really good. And maybe it's better than but I'm a DC mark, so the fact that I didn't bring it home is not really the best selling point. But I did really like that Booster Gold story where he's like playing matchmaker and he's like selling. I liked that it wasn't Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, it was just Booster Gold, and he's like hustling and he's trying to make money. And he's selling his like relationship advice, and then he's trying to help this guy who's trying to impress this girl, and then it turns out that the girl is the Marine Marauder, who is a ancillary DC character from Outsiders or no, Infinity Incorporated.
Whoa! Wow.
Just like a super deep dive. So I was into that, and the art was cool. And there's like I'm sure there's. I'm sure I'm selling it short. If it's your thing, it's your thing.
Well, you know what is my
I
thing?
do like the cover by Amanda Connor. It's very good.
I love Doctor Strange.
I didn't read it, but I do also love Doctor Strange.
Oh boy, this is one where they're really John Wicking Doctor Strange here. Yeah. Don't worry, the dead dog doesn't die. But they're fucking with bats.
Oh no!
Yes,
yeah, I did see that Bats was on the cover.
Villain this is an entire, almost exclusively Bats issue, and there's a villain that is like fucking with bats, and you know that's Doctor Strange is gonna go John Wick on him.
Nice.
You just know it.
I'll be right back.
Oh sure. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, some extra stuff. I ordered extra copies of Dracula because we sold out of Dracula 4. If you want more Dracula 4, we got more of those. And we've got the Fantastic Four, which is also a 4. A thing with a 4 in it.
I dug it. I definitely dug it.
Yeah,
And man, they got a good, the art quality stepped up, and I liked it.
For some reason, I thought you were going to start singing "I Love Trash." I don't know why.
I love it because it's trash.
Okay.
No, I was going to sing "Tu Me Gustas." Sorry. I'm always good for a Sesame Street deep dive, man. Like, don't set me up like that.
What's the Miss Piggy song?
Oh, I don't know.
Cuando le gusta, le gusta.
I don't know that one. I just know "Tu me gustas." That means I love you. Me gustas tú.
What about Fire and Ice?
I think this series is absolutely top notch. I love it.
Agreed.
I'm sad this is the last issue. It's great. I really love everything about it. It's if you like the Bwahaha JLI era, like this is. I mean, it's like literally that's what they're going for with it. It is.
That's awesome.
It's sort of trying to
like the first 2 issues. I just didn't keep up with it.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
Here's one that was damaged by whoever sent it to us, and so we have it this week. That would be Giant Robot Hellboy.
Oh, that's why that was not on the list, but on the stack.
Yeah.
So is that like one that came out before, but
it came out like 2 weeks ago or something, but all of our copies were fucking run over by a truck.
You didn't put any out for sale?
Nope.
Okay, good. That means I didn't buy it twice.
Nope, you didn't. Ghost Lore.
I really like Ghost Lore. It's good. I also didn't read it this week, but it's Leo Max, it's Cullen Bunn, it's whoever is doing the middle part this week or this month. It's really good. It's a great series.
And here's one that was, I mean, disappointing in one way. I mean, it's a good comic book, but let's face it. What you really wanted was to see Godzilla making up with like totally fucking Mecha Godzilla in this one.
Yeah.
No, you wanted a nice romantic Godzilla story. Yes. I wanted Godzilla to like find love or something, and it was people, and I'm like, I don't fucking care about people.
It was a romantic story, and it had very little Godzilla.
I was like,
so it was not a sell for me, which is funny because Godzilla -1 was very much about people, and Godzilla as a like. So it's not like that's a misfire completely, but this one didn't cross.
It didn't move
the line for me.
Gone, Daddy, Gone.
Gone.
That is a comic book that's out this week.
Yes, I also forgot to read it. It's because it was on the shelf with the Toonie Terrors, and I didn't see it.
And it's so big.
Yeah, it's big.
And it's Kaya is out.
I love Kaya.
It is a beautiful comic.
Kaya is fantastic. This is all the ones that I read that I like that I collect. I did not actually read this week, so I can't tell you much about Kaya, but it is a very good series that you should read. And if you've missed the ones before, you should get the trades.
One of the books that I think surprises me more than honestly anything coming out is that I actually like Kneel Before Zod. I don't know why, I just do. I can't justify it. I think it's great.
If it works for you, it works for you.
Love Everlasting is out.
Yep, number 12.
This is another Damage. We had Masterpiece was totally squizzled last week, so we got it in.
Cool.
And Mortal Terror, I think, is another one. I think all of our Dark Horse stuff got smashed up. I think that was our problem.
Wow.
Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. Yeah.
I stopped collecting it.
Right when they had the full porn issue.
Yeah, when it got really porny was when I dropped it. I don't know. It's just.
I mean, it wasn't what I was looking for, to be fair.
I liked it at first quite a bit. It started out really good, and then it just got really existential, sort of, and it was weird because it started out as this like apocalyptic survival tale, but at some point it no longer felt apocalyptic. It felt like claustrophobic in a way. Like there was like a ton of characters, and then they just all started fucking, and I was like, I don't.
It definitely felt like it felt like it lost its way at some point. Certainly,
I took off.
What is this thing called? I can't see it.
It is called
Look at it.
Block.
It's called The One Hand.
The
is
One
name of it.
Hand.
I did read this book,
I did not.
and I don't know what I thought of it. It is not my cup of tea, is what I will say about it. It's doing a Blade Runner-y, noir-y kind of like. It seems as though I didn't really understand. There's a scene. I may not have read it closely enough to really get it, but there was some definite interesting stuff going on with like robotics and potentially hallucinogenic drugs, depending on which angle they're going for. But it is overall just kind of a noir, crimey kind of story. Those stories aren't really my thing. So unless they involve weird black beetles or the One Good Asian. Those are the only instances where I like a noir story or a criminal.
Yep. Those are all good examples.
And to that point, we have Pine and Merrimack, which I'm not going to lie, I think it lost me.
Yeah, it's weird. I liked it, and I should want... it was weird. Like, I looked at it, and I was like, maybe I'll return to this next. It was a heavy week, and I was kind of maybe I'll go back to this one, but it didn't win me this week.
It did not move me. It felt
I
very...
like Kyle Starks a lot.
I think he's brilliant, but I think in this case he was... I don't want to say it's phoning it in. That feels way over the top. It just didn't feel... I don't know. There was nothing special about it. It almost feels like he was trying to prep you for what this book was going to be like with the kind of bland covers that they put on them. Like when it's like, oh, hey, the title has kind of a generic font. The covers just look like a romance novel. Like,
well, the thing, I mean, we talked about noir, and I do think it's got like kind of like a classic, like hard-boiled, like Thin Man kind of noir.
Sure does.
I recall for the first issue, I really liked the dialogue, which doesn't surprise me with Kyle Starks.
I agree.
And I don't know why I just kind of like didn't put it in the stack, but I just didn't put it in the stack.
There was something about it because
lie.
it wound up into this, like, the hook was too confusing for this one, for me, when it was like, oh, here's our conspiracy, and it's just like, okay, there's this glowing symbol. It meant nothing. And it's like, okay, so we've started our conspiracy with something completely inexplicable. And then we're also going for, there's this like trauma level of villain characterization that goes on when you use either sex trafficking or skinheads, or like Nazi skinheads, where it's like trauma would do that, where they'd just be like, you don't need to write a character. You say they're a Nazi skinhead and you know that they're the bad guy. So you don't have to, it's like a shortcut, and it just feels very lazy and very like something that you use. You have to do something very specific if you're going to use sex trafficking. And it's also a terrible, horrifying real world thing that is like, you got to be a little cautious when you bring it into these kind of funny books. And for me, it just didn't work in that way. Like I didn't feel like it was either treated strongly enough or given, I feel like it was used as shorthand for these are bad guys, so it's okay to beat the shit out of them. And like, it just, there was nothing else to it. And that, there you go. That's just me.
Valid.
Poison Ivy. Not Poison Ivy. It's Poison Ivy.
There was actually, we've been watching a lot of RuPaul Drag Race for the last like several weeks.
Why not?
Allie loves it, and I've been watching it, just kind of getting into it. And there was a character.
I've been watching The Traitors, so I have no fucking leg
Well,
to
we just
stand on.
finally got Paramount Plus, so I started watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is amazing.
It is really amazing.
Until they got to the stupid fantasy one, or like the like fairy tale one, and I was like, oh, really? Do you gotta always have one of these?
You always have to. I mean,
Gangster
it's such
Planet,
you gotta have a
It's
gangster
just like,
planet
you gotta
or
have
a Nazi world
fucking,
or whatever.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes or whatever it is.
Moriarty has to escape the holodeck. It's always something's got to happen.
But there was this one drag queen that came out dressed literally like Poison Ivy, holding an IV drip.
Damn it.
And I shit you not, it wasn't a like pretend, didn't realize that they were making a poison ivy joke. Someone pointed it out to them, one of the judges, and they were like, blank stare, like, huh? And it was like, because it was like the theme was like, it was like a doctor theme or something like that. So they all had like, and so they just basically wore this like, I don't know. I
Sounds
still
like
don't
someone got
know.
an assist on their costume.
Yeah, someone like told them to do it, and they did it and didn't understand the joke or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was really weird. I was like, how do you make
That's very
that
strange.
explicit,
A reference.
kind
Yeah,
of funny reference
Yeah.
and not like just that it was like crickets?
yeah. Weird.
Insane. Anyway, whatever.
Crickets in their brains.
Yeah.
Okay, here we have One Tree Hill with Red Hood. Who loves that?
I will
Who do you
say
do?
it's good.
I mean, it's the last 2 issues of Outlaws, so.
It's sort of not.
But it is.
Well,
Isn't it a reprint of the last 2
no.
issues of Outlaws?
no, it's an original.
Are you sure?
I could be wrong, but maybe that's where it started. What it started as. It is definitely the first issue of a new thing.
Interesting.
And Sean Martinborough, who wrote it, is an artist who I actually really like. And Sean Martinborough drew a Batman special that was called Batman the Hill, and they established the Hill as a section of Gotham in that. And so I saw this as a sequel to that, and it's basically just kind of trying to carve out like an area of Gotham for the Red Hood to operate in. But I think that the story was good, but the real secret superstar of this is Tony Akins. Awesome art in this, like really, really good.
Interesting.
I'm down. So they got me for another issue minimum.
Well, I'm 90% sure this is issue 30 and 31 of Outlaws, but
I guess it could be. I wasn't following Outlaw, but
Yeah.
I don't think that Sean Martinborough was writing that series.
fair enough. Oh crap! How did I not read this? I was so excited about this book. God damn it!
Saucer Country.
I love this book.
You're the one.
I'm the one. I loved this
Me and David
series.
were talking about this. Like we were like, where did this
Oh
come?
my
It was
God.
out of nowhere. Like Saucer Country is back to finish the run, and I was like, I didn't realize that there was like a lot of people waiting for that.
I don't know that anybody was waiting for it because it's one of those books that's like
It was a Vertigo book, right?
it was an everything book. It's one of those books that got bounced to every single company. It was, I think it was, okay, it started at Vertigo, I believe. I think it went to Dark Horse and it went to IDW, I believe.
Whoa.
Or maybe it might have even started at IDW. I don't know, but there were like, it literally like got kicked to so many different companies, and now it's landed at Image to do one last one shot to wrap up the whole story.
Oh, it's just one comic.
This is a one shot to
I thought-
tie up the whole
Are you sure
thing.
about that? It looked like it ended on a cliffhanger to me.
Son of a bitch. They called it a one shot in the solicit.
Take a look at that last page and tell me if I
Take a look
misread
at
it.
these hands.
I like that Talking Heads reference.
Okay, I'll put the camera on you while I look at this. Oh God, I love the art in this. I don't know. It is introducing a new series.
Oh.
So there's a new series called Groom Lake coming out in 2024. It's called Groom
That's
Lake:
this year.
Gray Skies Above.
Oh. So wrapping Saucer Country and
Wrapping Saucer
continuing
Country.
it into another.
Yes. I mean, maybe I'm getting it wrong because maybe when they changed titles, they changed companies, because it was like Saucer State, and then there was like there were different levels of Saucer.
I never read it, so I just remember it being a comic because I see all the comics.
I was so into it when it was
All
coming
eyes on
out.
comics.
There's this ongoing thing where there's a trauma about being abducted, and so you have to cover stuff up with certain things in order to not experience the horror of the abduction. And the deal was that they would see bunnies, and they were just these adorable bunnies that would show up in all of these different things. And anytime they were seeing something horrific, it would just be covered with a bunny, and then the bunny would talk to them, and like the bunny
Weird.
was saying all of these horrific things about their abduction.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, fucking brilliant! Loved it. Art was great,
Nice.
and the bunnies were adorable. Scooby Doo, also adorable bunnies.
Dracula's.
Yeah, Bunny Dracula, Bununculus,
Bunicula.
and the sensational She-Hulk.
Man, I was ready to drop it, and then I was like,
Really?
nah. I don't know. It's
Wow. I don't think I've read an issue of this that I haven't enjoyed.
I like it. I just don't
I'm not in
love
like with it.
But this one, I don't know. Something about this one brought me back, or kept me for at least the time being. But my time with She-Hulk may be numbered. I'm not sure.
Oh boy. Shazam, where Shazam and Captain Atom fight at a backyard picnic.
Yeah. It's Black Adam.
What
You
did I
said
call him?
Captain Adam.
Sure.
You wouldn't want any super DC fans to be like, Captain Adam is showing up in Shazam.
That would be awesome.
No, what will be awesome is that they finally are bringing friggin' Talkie Tawny back into it.
Yes.
I was like ready to, I don't know. I honestly, I haven't bought the last two because I just was
You
really
and
kind of in it.
Everybody else in the entire world.
Well, I'm in for the next issue.
This book does not sell at all.
No, it's not long for this
we
world.
sell so few copies of this. It is like
Yeah.
there has not been a book that we've sold this few copies of that hasn't been canceled at the big two, like within
Yeah, no,
months.
it's well, Wade and Moore are off the series, so I can't imagine it's going to last too much longer. But
can't.
that said, they might be like really invested in having a Shazam comic, so who knows? But and also Sophie Campbell is going to write it after Wade leaves.
You know how the how DC and Warner have been protecting their IPs. They have not. Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's the joke.
That's the joke. We got Star Trek Defiant. Oh, we've got one that's on the floor. I think it's Mace Windu. Star Trek Mace Windu.
Star Trek Mace Windu.
Whatever.
I love that guy from
Star Warby 1 Kenorbi.
I'm going to start my own franchise, and I'm going to call it Space Problems.
You know, it all just boils down to space problems.
It does. I came from watching Strange New Worlds, but I was like, the reason I like Strange New Worlds is because it's like every episode, space problem. Hey, we're in space, and we've identified a problem. Let's solve it. And then they solve it, and then it ends, and then it's the next one. Hey, we're further into space, and we found another problem. Let's solve it. And then they do. It's the formula. Like,
I mean,
I don't need a soap opera. I just need space problems
do you need
and the solving of them.
do you need Superman 78?
I do, actually. I like Superman 78.
Well, it's 12 o'clock. Don't be late.
It's got the most Gene Hackman-esque cover
Oh, sure
of
does.
all time.
And we got some of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles who are looking like elderly Mutant Ninja Turtles on this cover.
They are. It's because they're growing old.
And here they're looking like child Ninja Turtles.
Aw, they're adorables.
Dorba Turtle. Thanos.
Didn't even pick it up.
Nope. Oh my
Sorry.
God. I've been going back. So just to show how bad I am at keeping up with modern comics, I've gone back and started reading classic Warlock comics. Oh my God. I love the Adam Warlock series so much.
Did you read Warlock and the Flesh Tones?
No, that's a different Warlock. Can
wait, hold on.
you explain how Chris Claremont got away with that shit?
I don't think Chris Claremont wrote it.
Well, no, I
But
don't.
here,
but he
turn
did,
on my camera.
He did create Warlock, the character for Marvel
Yeah.
that has a. Oh, and what's that Warlock's big villain? Oh, the Magus.
Oh,
How
weird.
the
You know, I
fuck
never
you get away
actually
with that
even thought about that.
shit?
But here's Warlock and the Flesh Tones. Can it be seen?
Yes, it sure can.
Nice. All right. And I found Warlock and the Flesh Tones.
Yeah, kids, get into our dollar bins. They're full of
Oh man.
treasures.
Hey, while you have my camera on, can I just show the other gem I found in the dollar bins?
Sure.
You can't get it because I bought it. Horse. It's a comic book. It's called Horse with an exclamation part. exclamation point.
Believe me, when I was pricing those books to throw in the bins, I was like, oh, I have to read this.
And then also I'll even
And I
throw
did.
another turn, like, take a look at these hands. Take a look at these hands.
These hands.
Oh, man, it's good. Horse. I'll let you know how it is. But it actually looks pretty good. I opened it. Looked at it. I broke your rules about not reading comics. Wait, that's not what your rule.
I don't think I have that
No,
rule.
you don't have that rule. But there is a comic store that I went to in Topsom that had a sign that said reading is it's against the law or something. Stealing. Reading is stealing is their sign. It's like the worst.
It should say
possible
eating's
thing.
not cheating.
Yeah.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Thundercats.
Cats.
If you like sexy cat people having sexy cat adventures, you're gonna love this. This I don't know if this is establishing like a new.
The funny thing is that I actually do like that, and I don't like this comic.
I thought it was fine.
No, I'm
for
sure
what
it's
it
fine.
was, to be honest,
I know exactly. It's me
wasn't-
specific.
It wasn't my thing.
I don't
mean,
like any of these toy tie-in
Yeah,
comics for
that's-
the most part.
It's not really like I wasn't looking for a.
This is another
Thundercats comic.
Declan Shalvey.
Yeah, it is, and I think he did a fine job.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
If you like
There's-
Thundercats, it looked great.
There's one aspect of it that confused me a little bit, and I don't know if it's like
Riz,
Thundercats.
your feelings about Chitara confused you?
Sure was. No, that was as a child. No, the thing that confused me is, so Lion-O's a child?
I thought he was a lion.
He's a cub.
Oh,
Let's
he's a little
say.
cub. Maybe it's the origin of Lion-O.
Well, that's the story is that in the I don't think it's a big spoiler. I think it probably is canon already, but he was in the spaceship fleeing this giant war caused by these weird space pirate things. And
Space problems.
his suspension chamber malfunctioned, and so he aged when the other children didn't. And so he's a grown adult with a child's mind. Which is a weird thing to have your main character be, but it does open up a lot of interesting storylines.
See also Shazam.
Shazam, another very popular.
Man, look at all these callbacks that we're like nailing at the end of this thing. If you
Look at
stuck with it, you're getting all the callbacks.
What about Venom?
I did not read it. I'm sorry.
What about The Walking Dead?
I read it when it came out. It's fine.
What about Wolverine, Madripoor Blues?
Another one that I just kind of didn't pick up. What the fuck? I really did not do my work this week.
I don't know. I read it.
It's
and,
Claremont, right?
Is it? I mean,
I think he wrote
make
it.
sense.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's like basically like
Because it takes place right after 268.
yeah. If you like that thing where Captain America and Black Widow and Wolverine ran around this fictional Asian city,
Yes.
then this is more of that for you, written by Chris Claremont.
Yeah, it's that story arc where Wolverine's healing factor has gone bad,
Oh man,
and he's dressed up as Patch and Madripoor, and
Patch, the best disguise of all time.
wait,
I don't need to change my hair, bub. I just put on this eye patch.
who's this guy with this insane hair and claws growing out of his hand?
Sideburns.
Oh,
don't
wait.
need to shave them.
Wait, no, he's missing an eye. That can't possibly be the same
cannot
dude.
Possibly be Wolverine. He's cigar, Wolverine hair, sideburns.
Yeah, but Wolverine has two eyes.
Yes,
So-
exactly. Wolverine doesn't wear a suit.
Honestly, that might be the thing. That might be
Yeah.
what does it. It might just be that he's
You
He's
know,
so garish
I haven't
in his
seen
normal
Patch
life.
go into a berserker rage
Well,
once.
guess what? In this one, Patch goes into a berserker rage.
Oh man, he's known for those. Oh wait, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not. It's Wolverine who's known for those.
You're going to be shocked to find out that he's the best there is at what he does.
And what he does is pretty.
It is not. It
Oh.
actually, it makes
See,
makes
this is
Captain
why
America
I don't ever
Ralph.
win on Jeopardy.
Captain America nearly barfs.
Oh.
In this one, he's like, "Oh, I've seen a lot,
But that's
but I'm glad to see that I'm just never going to get used to it."
I'm never gonna get used to seeing Wolverine naked.
Yes. Glark.
There's a show at the state, or a movie coming to the State Theater that's called Banff Mountain. And
What?
Banff, and I saw the sign and I thought it said Barf Mountain, but like with two F's.
I just think it's about Nightcrawler now.
I'm calling back to my own brain now. It's like Banff, not Banff, Banff with two F's.
Fair. Well, here we go.
Big ass motherfucking
I need to find out who wrote
film. Film.
Do you know who wrote this?
Who?
Why are they not telling me?
It's Simon Spurrier if you're talking about X-Men.
I am.
Or is it's or Kieran Gillen. That's
okay.
who it is. Kieran
that
Gillen.
would make sense why he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, this
makes sense because he wrote
this issue
it.
fucking rules. First off, I love it. As a huge X-Men fan, I absolutely loved this. And it calls back to a very specific issue of X-Men that pissed me off at the time. And it is going to give someone revenge for a thing that pissed me off at the time. And
Was it a thing Jerry Duggan wrote?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was a thing involving Nimrod and Nightcrawler.
I read this bullshit thing that hack Jerry Duggan wrote. I'm gonna fix it.
No, it wasn't. I think it would have been like a Chuck Dixon.
Oh,
Why do I
whoa!
always-
Wait,
why do I always say
Chuck
Chuck
Dixon,
No, the
the
other
one guy who like
Every
never wrote X-Men.
Single time I call him Chuck Dixon. What the fuck is his name?
Chuck Austin.
Chuck Austin. Thank you. Jesus.
I mean, at least
My
just
brain
Chuck,
is just-
Chuck.
Ugh, my brain is just made out of soup.
Oh, we should have a podcast called Chuck to Chuck.
Chuck to Chuck, where
And
we read.
just put them in a fucking cage match and make them fight.
I mean, Chuck Dixon. What did he write?
What didn't he write?
He was
Chuck Dixon wrote Robin, Batman,
right. He was like a
Punisher.
DC guy, though.
Yeah,
right? Like,
he was a DC guy, but he was also, I think, a Marvel
did
guy.
he do a run on Catwoman?
Chuck Dixon? Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was the original guy with Ballant.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. He was like the Batman writer for like a very long
yeah.
time. And now he's like getting outraged at like stupid, obvious memes on X, formerly known as Twitter, because he's a fucking spud. Devo wrote a whole song about him. It's it's called Jocko Homo.
Jocko Homo. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? We got X. Yes, I like this. I really enjoy it, and it has a very sad moment in it that is really fucking depressing.
Oh yeah, that was depressing.
Oh my god,
I did actually read this.
that was
comic.
that was a really well written moment that really it landed.
It resonated
really well, and it was really smart. And it's something that someone with their abilities would do in the situation that they're in, and it would be a way that they would deal with their trauma, and it's really sad, and it was fucking awesome.
And it's something that like might stick too.
Yes.
Because of, like it's hard to discuss it without
Right. There's a big spoiler.
Yeah, it's a big enough spoiler I don't want to do. But like it feels like it has some gravity, which is unusual in a comic where literally everyone has died 25 fucking times.
Sure. Oh my god, this is good. Holy crap.
What is it, Young Romance?
Young Romance
oh my
is
God.
so beautiful.
My brain like relax in a way like DC has gone to glossy paper, and I hate glossy paper in a way that is like visceral. Like I just really
it does seem
hate
to
it.
be like a tick for you.
I get that. I know that other people don't care in the same way, although I know that there are people who share my proclivities of paper choice. But I knew this Young Romance facsimile was coming out this week, and I at least 3 times had moments of great existential dread that it was going to be on glossy paper, and thank God it isn't. It's on regular ass shitty fucking
It looks
pulpy
so good.
paper,
It
and
looks so freaking good.
Needs to be.
And it's so funny because it's also they've translated it so it is digital coloring.
Yeah.
So what you're
I think
getting,
it might even be recolored.
I think it is recolored, and it's
The
done
cover, I think, is definitely
in the type of spot coloring that that Laura Allred uses a lot of, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's got like a
I
little
love
bit of
her style, and I think that's the same style they use.
a little bit more texture, a little bit more gradation to
because
it.
I think there's some zip tone in there.
Yeah.
It looks like.
But what is significant about this comic, in case you're wondering, is that Young Romance is the first romance comic that was started by Simon and Kirby back in the 50s, and it was originally a different company that published it. And at some point, whatever month this comic came out, DC purchased it. And this is the first DC issue of Young Romance, and it features work by John Romita and oh man, the guy I love so much that with the Justice League guy,
Superman.
names. Oh God, why can't I think of his name?
I don't know. They're not going to tell me.
No, it's not in. It's probably not in the credits. It's he drew like he was the first Justice League artist, and he also drew the mod Wonder Woman. And
oh shit!
I hate that I cannot think of this name right now. It is just the worst. But anyway, it's got some classic artwork in it, and it's a great issue. And just totally out of nowhere, like DC like reprinting this comic, like it's just like such a weird thing that like you only would do if you just like comics, and like it's cool. It's just really cool that this came out time for Valentine's Day. Oh my God.
Mike Sawicki?
Sikowski. Thank you, Internet. Michael Sikowski. Mike Sikowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Very, very great artist who drew many things. One of those artists like Dan Spiegel, like not from the same era, but like just that everything they do is good, and they drew everything. Like,
yeah.
I bought 3 issues of Condor Man, and they're totally by Spiegel. And I'm just like, yes, he drew the Herbie the Love Bug adaptations.
Yeah.
It's just like this randomly shit. Sikowski drew the Jet Dream backups in Man from U.N.C.L.E. comics. Like, so good. Like, so good. Everything is good.
I gotta say, I've seen that collection of the mod Wonder Woman issues, and the temptation to buy those is always there, and I just know I'm going to hate them the second that I try to read it.
No,
but
they're
my
good.
God, they look really cool.
They're
just like
really
the design
good.
is so fun.
It's definitely like it's hack in the way that like old Teen Titans comics could be hack,
It's
or
Denny
like
O'Neil.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Smart
but
guy.
Denny O'Neil wrote the like my ward is a junkie, you know, like it was at the time
great
like a
issue.
big deal. Well, it's a great issue, but it's definitely like
I mean, it doesn't stand the test of time, but I mean,
well, exactly, but it does, but it's like
Right.
within the context of that, like it's
sure.
if it came out today, people would be like it's woke, you know, or whatever, but like it's those mod Wonder Woman, like they're definitely racist. Like I Ching is a main character in
that's
all
true,
of them,
that's true.
and like, but
I do remember that
that said,
just from
like
the covers from having them in the store.
they're fun, and it was like DC was like, well, we got Wonder Woman. It's a character we're not ever gonna not publish, but nobody's buying it. So what can we do to change it up? And they did, and it like stirred the pot and made people want Wonder Woman again, like the real one, you know, the costume Wonder Woman, and that all came from doing that. But it's great. I think they're really fun, and the art's awesome.
Same. I think it's cool. I just don't know that I would be able to read an entire trade's worth of them.
They're good as single issues. Actually, me and Maddie were talking about this when I was talking to him down at the bar before the podcast about the difference between an old comic and a new comic in terms of its readability. And it's like in the same way that like I love the idea of a Marvel monster trade or omnibus, but like there's no fucking way I would ever read one from cover to cover. Like
Boy, I tried it.
You read it one chapter at a time.
Yep.
Like, they're not designed to be read that way. Like it's a different, literally a different language.
Yep, I agree. So true.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
a
it.
lot.
We got it.
There's some cool mangas and stuff this week too.
Yeah.
I'll do a video, so check the Instagram.
Yes. Check the Instagram for the video. We'll show you all the other stuff that came in this week, and we ask you to do your best to support us by shopping at Coast City Comics.
Buy the
And
stuff.
follow us at Actually Comics. Follow us at Coast City Comics.
Buy the comics.
And
comics
you
at
can
Coast City
find
Comics.
Bob at Dollar Binge.
Buy comics at Coast City Comics. Sorry, I'm doing a subliminal.
Perfect.
I'm going to start doing that through the entire podcast next time.
Good.
No. Dollar Binge is. I actually posted a good one today where I interacted with Sam Henderson, Magic Whistle. That made me very happy, and I've been posting some good stuff lately.
Nice.
I always do.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week. Thank you for listening or watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Well, I gave a peace sign, but no one saw it.